is a terrible, tragic incident, and the terrorists have managed to, throw havoc and kill so many innocent, take so many innocent lives. It's really dramatic. So we call for all governments to take action, not only to defend Jewish communities, but also to fight incitement and hate speech. The recognition of a Palestinian state by the Australian government was a message that was received by the radical communities as a carte blanche, because they understood that actually this is something that is legitimate. You can call for support of the 7th of October, you can call for terrorism, and the government won't do much. We see a direct link between the terrible atrocities done on the 7th of October, the terrible atrocities committed in Pahalgam, and also in Bondi Beach. People are taking arms and killing innocent people, doing terrible crimes, and this is part of a phenomenon that we have to fight against.
Hello and welcome. I am Pranay Upadhyay and you are watching India Today Global. The entire civilized world is condemning the Bondi Beach attack of Sydney, where the two attackers killed around 15 innocent people, those who have gathered at Bondi Beach of Sydney to celebrate Hanukkah by the sea. Israel has condemned this attack and in fact asked many questions. So I am being joined by Ambassador Reuven Azar, Israel's ambassador to India, to have his position, to explain his position, how his country is going to react to this situation. Ambassador Azar, welcome to India Today. What is Israel's official position on the Bondi Beach terrorist attack during the Hanukkah celebration, and what message of solidarity does the government extend, the Israeli government extend to the victims and Australia's Jewish community?
Well, we of course condemn this atrocious attack that targeted just families that wanted to celebrate the Festival of Lights. This is a terrible, tragic incident, and the terrorists have managed to, throw havoc and kill so many innocent, take so many innocent lives. It's really dramatic. The state of Israel, first of all, is cooperating with the Australian authorities in the investigation of the event, of the attack. We have sent our Minister for Diaspora Affairs, Michal Shikli, to Australia, and we are embracing the Jewish community there, an amazing community we've been in touch for many years.
And how does Israel view the Bondi attack in the context of the rising global anti-Semitism, and what international action Israel is calling for, in the aftermath of this attack and combat such targeted violence?
Indeed, this is a trend, and we've been seeing in Australia and in other countries around the world a huge rise in anti-Semitism. Only in 2024, according to the Jewish community data, there have been 1,770 anti-Semitic attacks in Australia alone. So that requires a different level of alert. We've seen, our authorities in the state of Israel who are following very closely the action of state sponsors of terrorism. We've seen the Iran Revolutionary Guard trying to promote attacks through criminal networks. We've been distributing this information to other governments. We try to cooperate and encourage governments to do more. Unfortunately, there weren't enough security forces to defend this event, to protect this event in Bondi Beach in Australia. And even those that were there weren't fast enough to react and neutralize the terrorists. And we see the result. So we call for all governments to take action, not only to defend Jewish communities, but also to fight incitement and hate speech. Because frankly, the jihadists, they are exploiting the fact that we have free speech values in order to call for the eradication of the state of Israel, for the eradication of the Jews. This is something that should be intolerable. The fact that demonstrators we've seen in the streets of London, Paris, in America and other places, raising the flags of ISIS, of Hamas, this should be banned, because freedom of expression cannot be the excuse for allowing people to incite for violence. We see the results. There are tragic results. And here I think we need to do much more.
Absolutely. You rightly pointed out that there are many incidents of concern. But Ambassador Azar, there have been many voices coming out of Israel questioning the Anthony Albanese government, the government of Australia, and asking question on certain things which should have been done. From Israel's perspective, what steps should host countries like Australia take to better protect the Jewish diaspora community during the cultural events specifically?
Well, as I said, it's a matter of protecting Jewish events. It's a matter of the policy towards radicalized communities. These radicalized communities haven't been addressed enough. And this is what we've been telling many governments, including the Australian government. Unfortunately, the actions weren't enough. The recognition of a Palestinian state by the Australian government was a message that was received by the radical communities as a carte blanche, because they understood that actually this is something that is legitimate. You can call for support of the 7th of October, you can call for terrorism, and the government won't do much. So we have to act on all levels, the physical level, but also when it comes to social media and to media. And there is a limit to freedom of speech when it comes to incitement for violence.
So many people are drawing parallels in 7th of October attack and the recent Bondi beach attack. Do you see this comparison as a valid point? Is it the biggest attack after 7th of October attack targeting the Jewish community?
Absolutely. And it's not just about the Jews. It's about all minorities, all those who are being persecuted by the Islamic jihadists. We see a direct link between the terrible atrocities done on the 7th of October, the terrible atrocities committed in Pahalgam, and also in Bondi Beach. People are taking arms and killing innocent people, doing terrible crimes, and this is part of a phenomenon that we have to fight against.
You mentioned about the Pahalgam terror attack as well, Ambassador. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar will be on a visit to Israel. How might the Bondi attack influence will be part of the discussion and will deepen the India-Israel counterterrorism cooperation and the intelligence sharing?
Well, this is going to encourage to cooperate even more deeply. We are already engaged in cooperation. During the visit of Minister of Foreign Affairs Gideon Saar to India, we've raised this point. We are increasing our dialogue on these issues and our exchanges, and we are really expecting the incoming of MEA Jaishankar. We have many collaboration issues that have nothing to do with the fight against terrorism as well. We have signed multiple agreements this year on security, on economy. We have many more agreements we want to sign. And we're engaging in every possible aspect. We are welcoming the participation of Indian companies in infrastructure projects in Israel. The academic cooperation is booming, and we are trying also to generate programs of cooperation in emerging technologies.
With Dr. Jaishankar's visit focusing on the bilateral ties and the global issues, what role can India play in supporting Israel's effort against anti-Semitism, terrorism, and especially following the tragedies like Bondi Beach?
Well, India has an amazing tradition of respecting minorities, and India has been also a victim for terrorism. We appreciate the position taken by Prime Minister Modi following the 7th of October and his condemnation of the Bondi attack. I think that we can do much more internationally, and we can work together with partners in order to create new tools to fight extremism and terrorism.
Ambassador Azar, you mentioned that Israel has also extended help to the Australian government and Australian authorities to investigate this Bondi Beach attack. So far, we have seen that even after 24 hours, we know very little about these two individuals, the father and son, who carried out this attack. What information does Israeli government have on these two attackers? And if the identities are being masked, will you Will you come out with the names and the identity of these attackers? Because world want to know that who has carried out these attacks and what are the motives, what are the the reason behind this attack.
Well, I imagine that information will come out at some point. I think that at this point, the nature of the investigation is such that the intelligence agencies and the law enforcement bodies are handling it with sensitivity and care. The more important thing is to deal with the root causes of attacks such as this. As I said in the beginning, I think we should be much more serious in targeting preachers that are calling for eradication of Jews. I've seen only this morning a preacher in Australia that, under the disguise of freedom of religion, is publishing terrible content that is calling for killing Jews. And the same goes for social media, electronic media, and demonstrations that are taking place. There is one thing to identify yourself with a cause that it might be politically legitimate, and another thing is to call for eradication of entire states or eradication of entire peoples. That is intolerable, and I think we should do much more in order to face it.
In the last, Ambassador, will you call upon, or will the Israeli government call upon all the social media platforms and the tech giants to contain and to address this challenge? Because this radicalization or the online spread of hatred has become a serious challenge and a serious threat to the society.
Well, unfortunately, we are not getting enough cooperation from the media, social media giants. There have been some cases in which we've seen policy adjustments, but I think that we are very far from a situation in which we can really say that we are blocking this hate speech and this terrible content calling for killing other people. And we have a lot to do in front of us. If we don't take action, I'm afraid that this will continue, because we are seeing campaigns, organized campaigns, sponsored by states that are disseminating this kind of incitement. So it's not just the demonstrators themselves. We have to investigate. And as you know, it's very difficult to locate the source of every campaign. So I think this should be an international effort. And of course, this will be discussed in the meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs when he arrives.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Azar. Thank you very much for your time and sharing your perspective with us.
Thank you, sir.